What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Rainnite Gaming. I'm Rainnite, and in today's episode of getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh, we're going to do something really good. We're going to good old top five hand traps you need to get in your collection when you're starting to play Yu-Gi-Oh. These are going to be the ones that are great in this meta, the other metas to come, and just ones you just want to have on hand. I'll probably throw in a couple honorable mentions just to even it out. If you're liking this series, let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring-a-ding-ding that bell so you never miss any of my content. Okay, it's cold as hell out here, so let's go inside and get going.
Okay, let's talk about hand traps. Hand traps are probably the most important thing you're going to have in your deck other than your actual engine, because it lets you do interaction on your opponent's turn. So, you know, it's just a free negate or shutdown of certain things. And I like to group hand traps into two camps. We've got the single use and the high impact. That means, you know, like Ash Blossom, you've got one use of it, it's stopping one thing. And you have things like Droll, where, you know, you use it and it stops something for the entire turn. Same thing with like Shifter and different things like that. So first off, before we get into the top 5 of cards I think you definitely have to have, these are going to be the ones I think you should get, but it's not ones that you have to have right off the bat. You can pick them up later on. First up, Ghost Bell. Ghost Bell is a really good card, you know, with those graveyard decks. So this is one you could probably run one of them in decks. Not a lot of people run 3 of them, so it's one you could get, but you don't have to. Ghost Ogre is super inexpensive, so you can get that. It doesn't do a negate, but it destroys the thing that did the negate that you wanted to stop. So it's good to have. Sometimes just getting rid of a monster or a spell is enough to stop them. Like you could play this on a continuous spell or a monster that's going to be a pain in the butt later. So good to have. Veiler. Veiler is a little one-off, you know, monster negate. Boom. It's pretty simple. There you go. He's also a tuner. These are also all tuners, so they kind of have double use, which is really good. But he's just kind of a nice to good to have. DD Crow. DD Crow is one of the older hand traps, and, you know, he's still good. You know, you have a graveyard reliant deck, he can banish something from the graveyard, so it can be really handy. Pretty much the Bestials are almost a better DD Crow now, so sometimes, you know, those are kind of overing him. Lancia, if they want to try to banish stuff, you stop them from banishing this turn. It shuts down a lot of those kind of decks, so it can be really nice. Usually something you'd run in the side and not the main. That's why I'm putting it as an honorable mention. Last honorable mention, we've got Evenly Matched. This came in on a structure deck, so it's easy to get now. Some people wouldn't count it as a hand trap because you have to play it at the end phase of a battle, and then you can play it from your hand. So that's why I kind of keep it in here, but it's a great card, and a lot of people are playing it nowadays. Mostly, you know, most of these are people will play in the side, so that's what kind of what made them just honorable mentions. Okay, the top 5 you have to have. Starting off, Ash Blossom. It's the most general hand trap you can get. It's going to hit a lot of decks. I mean, right now, it shuts down a lot of things like Branded. It really hurts. So, you know, it's really good. You want to always hit that Branded fusion. So this is just probably your best. Get the 3 of. They've never been cheaper, so you can go ahead and get that out there. Then one that I think is really good, and it's actually 2 cards. We've got Gearframe Gear Gamma and Psyframe Driver. I always forget that thing's name. So this is really nice because it's a negate, and you'll get 2 bodies out of it that can synchro in together, because one's a tuner and one you can just get out there. Granted, the only bad part is this is a brick in your deck, so it gets in your hand, so you gotta watch out for that. One really cool thing, if you do this on your turn, you can then do your synchro plays. They go in the graveyard, and then if you open up another Psyframe Gear Gamma, you'll be able to do it again and bring him out from the graveyard. But if they get banished, the rest of your gear frames are then dead cards. So it's a really good package to run, but it does take up 4 spots. Then I think going with another high impact hand trap, we've got Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird is nice because once they do a draw, you can then droll them. They can't do any more draws that turn. Just shuts them down for that turn, and a lot of decks can't play through it. So it's a really, really good card to have. I've been starting to play this more in the main, just with the way decks are right now and the combo-oriented stuff. But you definitely kind of want to put it in your side at least. Then probably my two favorite hand traps. We'll start off with the trap of the bunch, Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is a trap / hand trap because you can play it as a normal trap, and then you would cut out their zone if you did set it and play it on their turn. But this can be played from the hand if you don't have any cards on the field. And that's just going to do a nice negate, and it's really hard to stop because you actually can't call by the grave this because it's not a monster. So really good. Okay, last one, Nibiru. This is one, the way the meta is right now, you've got to have this at 3. At least have it in your side deck. I like to play it in my main at 2 in a lot of my decks. So obviously, if you know how it works, if they've summoned 5 times, you can then drop the rock on them. They get a token that is combined attack and defense of all the monsters that were tributed, and then you get this card. And with the way decks are right now, it's not hard to get rid of a big token just because it's a normal monster, and a lot of people will be able to clear that with no major issues. So these are the 5 must-have 3-ofs in your collection as you're starting to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And then obviously we just have the little, honorable mentions that I think are really good to have, but you don't have to. So there's your list as you're starting to play. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts you think differently on what hand traps you need to have and run. And obviously it's going to change a little bit depending on the meta. Some of these will do better in different metas and some will do less. And there's even more hand traps, but these are definitely the ones you want to get your hands on. Okay, guys, that's it for me this week. I should be going to locals pretty soon, so look forward to that. Hopefully we can take it down with our Soul deck. I've been playing around with lots of different builds, and I think the deck is getting pretty awesome. There's some cards on the side here. You can see they're in different sleeves that I'm starting to play around with, just people that have stayed for the whole video can see. Triple Tax, more Lightning Storms. I'm thinking about running some Kaijus in the deck, just because I think they'd be really good to put in the side, and they are 7s, so we can actually go into some good synchros with them. Droll and Lockbirds, Dimensional Barrier, Anti-Spell Fragrance. Probably in the next episode, if I don't go to locals, or even if I do, I'm going to try to do a highlight on my side deck. So the side deck can be pretty important. So, okay, guys, until next time, I enjoy you guys watching my videos, and hopefully you've liked and subscribed. But until next time, I'm Rainnite. This has been Rainnite Gaming, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.